Hi there, I'm Andrew and I have been nominated to do the community vlog for Top Table Gaming. So welcome to my hobby area, as you can see behind me. My plan is to do a short video every day to show what I've been getting up to and hopefully get a little bit of hobbying done this week. Living in the south of Bulgaria, I have some struggles sometimes finding good materials to do my hobbying with, so hopefully I can show some of the hacks that I use to get around these limitations. So thanks Ben and Steve for nominating me. I'll get you back, and I hope that you all enjoy this video, and I hope that the very amateur production, just me with a camera on a tripod, will not detract too much from your enjoyment. Thanks again. Hi there. So to evening number one, which is Monday, and I've just spent a short while working on Tawny and realised that I'm too tired after the day to really think very hard, so I've put that away, and what I'm going to do is work through some tasks I've got, some of the projects I have on my workbench. Now I don't know how you do this, but I find myself liking having quite a lot on the go at once and a lot of variety as well. So this is going to be interesting to show you what that means, just what the variety is. So in front of me at the moment I have some cheap MDF kits that I've been working on for a little while. You can see that they're coming on okay. I've got the inside needs some work. It's got some of the stonework inside. I've done a quick wire tree which needs some foliage. That's probably going to happen tonight. Put myself a tangle of brambles, which is a bit topical because if that's focusing, yes, because I'm spending a lot of time in my real life clearing brambles at the moment, and I'll also want to put some flock around the base. So that's that one, and I have another one which I'm also working on from the same guy, which has a slate roof. I also have these from Andrew Cox. And finally, to mix it up a bit, I'm into a game called Chain of Command, which operates at 20mm rather than 28mm. And let's see if I can get this to focus on the little people. Come on little man. There we are. And you can see my horribly infected finger there, sorry. So these are World War II miniatures, and I have a batch of British on there which are partially painted, and I'm going to attempt with my injured finger to get them painted up and flocked and see how that goes. So yes, I will report back later with my progress. Hello again, it is the end of the evening, and I have had quite a good evening actually. I will try and stop saying as well. The thing that I'm most pleased with, which is very wet, and I'll be very careful as I pick it up to show you, is this house, which is the rundown hovel version that I'm doing, where I've put the greenery on the tree, and as you can see I have put basic flocking around the edges. It's a bit hard for me to show you from down there, so I will stand up. And I have also gone in and painted the flags inside. I have been working on the 20mm, if it's going to focus. Gonna work. Oh, there we are. So, yes, I have been working on my little 20mm, and I'm quite pleased. I painted quite a lot of these. Haven't spent that long, but I've got to a good place, and now it is time for me to head to bed, as I have work tomorrow. And tomorrow I really do need to do more on Tawny than I did this evening, so it's been nice to get a little bit of this done and to show you, but I will be back tomorrow with another update. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this so far. I'm certainly enjoying the challenge and the encouragement this has given me to get back to my desk. Having decided this week to do no hobbying, I've ended up doing quite a lot already, so it's already had a good impact on the productivity for my modelling and my hobbying. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you again in the next instalment of this enthralling vlog. I scratch built this before I really had anything. I used wood from the garden and cardboard. I made some, you can see how very irregularly I get this out. Come on, focus, you silly thing. There it is, all that lovely cobweb. So I made some little spears hanging on a rack, ready to be grabbed in case of emergency. There is a shield and quiver there. And as you can see, it has quite an extensive area of ground in front of it. So I also wrote some custom scenarios for this, which we actually play one of them every Boxing Day, called Assault the Walls, and have a great laugh. There's just a minimum number of attackers here and a bunch of orcs running at the wall with their assault ladders and trying to get in and over and kill everyone. We've had some pretty close games and it works really well. It's a really fun game. So come in here, you can see we have some different types of terrain. We have a bit of a swamp here, we have some fields, some vineyards, because it's thirsty work if we come round in front of here when you're trying to dig some extra defences. Now the backstory for this is that there's been a long period of peace, maybe between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, before the War of the Ring, and so the defences have fallen into a bit of disrepair. As you can see, there's a temporary fix being put in the join there, and so when rumour of war reaches, the king of the castle starts to try to reinforce his castle, but obviously, as you can see, they're caught short. They don't even have time to bring their axes in. So a scratch-built little axe there, when it focuses, there it is, and some shovels leaning up against the wall. So pretty cool. If I remember, I will put the PDFs of the scenarios and give them to Ben and ask him to link them. I'll upload them somewhere and ask him to link them in the description of this video. So that's the first thing to show you. Nothing else is as involved, and the section will not be quite as long. But here is the small village that I built, again quite a few years ago. It's all scratch built with foam and sitting on plywood bases, and it all comes apart. So you can see inside the watchtower you have steps which are the correct size for SPG miniatures. And you can climb up that and you can go right the way up to the top and see very well. Then here we have the hotel kind of bar, and all of that comes apart as well. So you take that roof off and you can see there's some little bedrooms because it's a hotel, and then you take that part off and you can see inside, and there is a little fire, and yeah, they're very playable. Got a 2-story building here. Again, roof comes off. If you notice, we have the Pechka pipe there. Pechka is Bulgarian for fire. That goes down through the floor and matches up to a little burner that I put on the ground floor. I'm quite pleased with that. That's a good fun build that was. I made a ruined building and the full version of it, which is over there. And then finally for this, a little cottage with a thatched roof, which again, if you take it off, you can see that once again inside, little detailing. These are the things I like to do. You've got a little bed there, and you've got the fire with the wood in it. So that was good fun. And then over here, I particularly like the Barrow-White scenario where the hobbits are attempting to escape and Tom Bombadil comes to save them. So I made 4 barrows, all different, all with slightly different playables. You can climb up on this one. You've got a little dead tree on that one. And this one, which is obviously the main Barrow-White, is quite impressive. It's got multiple layers. So yeah, those are some of the other scenery items that I've made. I think that maybe just do one more segment of this, and then this video will probably near enough be done. So we come to the final section I'm going to film for this. I was worried about filling this up, but I've just reviewed and I've got near enough 40 minutes of footage. So I think that's enough. I don't know how short it will be when we've edited it down, but that's what there is right now on the camera. So this is going to be a bookending section. What we have in front of you is the first thing that I made For myself, I made this while I was working in Belgium, sat very bored, and that's when I came across the GBHL, and this whole expensive hobby began really in earnest. It is a river made on cardboard. It is very badly warped, as you can see, but I really like it. It was a lot of fun using boat varnish and all sorts of other materials that I found, stones off the ground, some brush ends that I cut off something for the reeds at the end there, so that's very good. I believe it even has some fish in it, but I won't even try and zoom in to show you. I then made a little car park just as another experiment, which isn't quite as good, but I still like it quite a lot. And then when I got back from my trip, I made this, which I really do like quite a lot. It has Gandalf on it, and it is some burial mounds and then an old forest, and it was just playing around and trying to learn what I was going to do and how things worked. And as we come over to this side of the room, or the room of the table, you can see the most recent things which I've been working on, which are the 20mm Sarissa buildings, and these really are very nice and well worth an investment, I would say. I bought a range for a particular scenario that I would like to be playing, and that is what this is, so highly recommend them. I'm going to finish this here now, and thank you very much for watching my ramblings, and please do support Top Table Gaming. They are amazing. So there you have it. There is my hobby vlog. It was far easier to shoot than I expected, and may even encourage me to start my own channel and do this a bit regularly to keep encouraging me to keep videoing. So thank you, Ben, and thank you, Steve, for asking me to do this and giving me the opportunity. I'm going to pass the baton on now to Ben Pearson. Mr. Pearson, you've been called out. I hope you have half as much fun as I had, because if you do, you'll have had a lot of fun. So thank you again for watching, and as I said at the end of the last segment, do keep supporting Top Table Gaming. Cheers. Hi there, I'm back at my bench, and as promised in the first segment, I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks that I use to get some benefit from where we live. We don't have very much access to hobbying supplies, so I make use of found things. So I said I wasn't going to put the camera down and point at the bench, but I think that for this segment I will. So I'll be back very shortly to show you some of the materials I use and how I use them to make best use. And you can hear Rosie in the background, who wants to be on YouTube and be a YouTube star as well, so maybe she'll appear a bit later as well. Welcome to my bench and the first attempt at camera down photography. And Rosie, as per usual, is being very vocal in the background because we didn't want her to be. So hopefully that won't distract you too much. The first thing which I am using, and this is not something new, I know other people do it, is I make use of these washers as bases. What I do is I take masking tape and I put that onto the bench like so, and just roll a length out there, and then they get stuck down onto the masking tape like so. So I've stuck that entire pack of washers onto a strip of masking tape, as you can see, and the next step, which is done without any pause because it sticks straight away, is to cut each of these circles out very, very carefully with a very sharp blade. So that is all of those cut out, as you can see, a little bit of waste but not too much. The next step is to spray all of them with just normal black car spray, the cheapest you can find from your local hardware store. Welcome back. So these have now all been sprayed. They've been sprayed both sides. So we have black on the back and the front. And I also had some I'd started a little while ago and not finished, which I also took an opportunity to spray. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add sand. So I just take some normal PVA. This bottle is running out. And then spread that relatively liberally on the top of each of these washers. And then scatter some sifted sand. This is just builder's sand, nothing special here. So that's that. That will then be left to dry for a little while, probably 2 or 3 hours, and then the next step will be to spray them again with the black. That's it. So there's top tip number 1, make use of building supplies to make bases. Welcome back to my bench. This is the second tip for using found items or other less normal items for hobbying. This is how I use milk bottle tops like this, and use them for scatter terrain like this. So as you can see, I have a razor saw and a milk bottle top. These are just kept over from the sheer quantity of tea which I drink. And the simplest thing that I do is very carefully, which I'll do hopefully so you can see, I'll cut it about so there's still a little bit of the ridges, and I will get the razor saw. Let's see if I've done this right first time for the camera. First take, this is. Gets a bit tricky at the end. Be really careful. And there you are. It met perfectly. Well, very nearly perfectly. So you can see that we've got the inside bit has fallen out as well. And here we have something which can be sanded down to make it perfectly flat quite easily. Then you put your base, you prime it, and it will easily accept sand and other materials. So just a little hint, a little tip for you there. Don't throw away these sorts of things. You can make use of them. It saves the environment. Being a beardy weirdy, I do love the environment, and it also saves you money, and being a cheapskate, I love money. So I hope you find that tip very useful. I'm going to crack on and cut down 2 or 3 more of these, and then work out how I'm going to do hay bales on them, or hay stacks on them.